Number 1, read the line.
You will behold the glory of my sacred wood.
That's not him.
Okay. Number 2, read the line.
You will behold the glory of my sacred wood.
Absolutely not.
Okay. Number 3.
You will behold the glory of my sacred wood.
That's him.
Every year, 1 in 5 gamers is accosted by an elf. We're tired of elves.
Hello Lorehounds, and welcome to the DDO Dungeon Along Episode 2. Calling this one Ding, for a reason you'll see a little later on. Right now I'm just giving you a quick tour of the main town in Korthos Island. Basically it's got all the dungeons we did last week in Episode 1. This is one of the areas here. And we go down here, and this is where more of the class trainers are for when you level up and advance. And then that boat out you just saw there, I'll turn around to it. Yep, that boat out there is where you'll eventually leave after finishing one more lengthy quest line. Oh, I shouldn't say lengthy, but another quest line. And those are the gates we go out in a minute to get to the rest of the dungeons on the island. So, as I showed before, as one of the cool things was the puzzles you had to do at the end of certain things. And here's another one of them, only there's a couple twists to it. First of all, you can see it's actually a little bit 3D. And we're having a bit of trouble.
Oh, what's wrong?
The mist solidifies into ice over the ancient creature, but it's
So
not
you just
enough.
saw another trap there,
You need
which
both
can get a bit
jets to
deadly.
affect a thing of this size.
Currently, the objective is to get both of those ice jets on that side to fire. Since we're having so much trouble, just speed this up. Little Benny Hill music for you. It's like I said, they're not dynamic, but they can still be somewhat challenging, especially if you have a moron at the wheel like myself. Took me a while to figure out that I could only go in that one way. But it paid off, because I ended up killing the guy who's standing off to the side.
A layer of ice forms over the ancient creature, guaranteeing its slumber.
Okay.
Korthos is
Whatever.
safe for now.
And best of all, I was completely out of mana, so I couldn't resurrect it.
My bad.
Oh no. The Sawagan found me.
Suddenly the air shimmers.
Who in Kaiba are you?
The Sahagin have followed you in.
Of course,
and are
puzzles is the
attacking.
finishing
Keep
part of a
whose
dungeon.
life is
Not
in
all
your
that
hands.
DDO has to offer. In this one, we actually go through pretty much a survival, wave after wave. So Hargan are coming at us, and we have to fight them off. Thankfully, we had so many people this week that it made it fairly easy on every single level. They never managed to overwhelm us or really put out any damage that I couldn't out-heal. And actually, to be honest, it's probably one of the first things I had to really heal,
Oh no.
as opposed to someone either getting
Hayden
one
looks
shot
weary
or
after surviving this latest
not healing
attack.
at all.
Perhaps you should talk to him again.
Another one of the interesting things about DDO is not only that it has secrets and that give you little bonuses along with just breaking a ton of crap, but it also has secret optional bosses, which many MMOs don't have. So here we actually thought we had finished, and we were looking for the loot chest, and we realized that we weren't done because we hadn't gotten that main loot chest. Unfortunately, there were only 2 people left who hadn't already recalled. So when I went in down here with the other wizard, or the war priest, we started banging up on this guy to get our fat loots, but it didn't turn out so well for the both of us. I went to heal, realized I was out of spell points, and
The
he
evil
died again.
cult leader will spill innocent blood
But it's
no
cool.
more.
He got his loot.
Can you list me? Oh, you don't have the mana.
And
Oh, sad face.
can't even res because I don't have the mana.
Cool.
Since we finally had left the town, we managed to get out into the open world, which we haven't seen much of at this point in time. We're still on Korthos Island, which is the opening part of DDO. But we did get a little lay of the land and also did some Slayer achievements, which is basically just kill a bunch of guys in the area. Now, the main reason this episode is called Ding is because almost everyone leveled to level 3. I think about half the group hit level 3 and everyone else was at level 2 and almost there. So the odd thing about DDO is you actually have ranks and then levels. So you get a bunch of ranks and then you're allowed to level. And you don't just automatically level, it's something you have to do. So here I'm showing you what you can do when you get your ranks. So you spend your action points, and this basically gets you your spell or your upgrades to your specific stats. So there I was looking at strength and concentration. And each one of those will upgrade your save ability, which is something we'll go into later. But it's kind of like a resistance. So here I'm just looking over all the different points you have. You have things that are specific to your class, things that can kind of make you a hybrid, and then things that are specific to your race. So here we're looking at the Warforged stuff. And there's nothing really that's good for a healer. And that's what I'm trying to be. So I go all out healing. Buffs to heal, buffs to my spell points, which is your mana, which does not regen. And buffs to the turn undead, which is a counter that my cleric will use for various spells. It's kind of like a highly limited combo points. And once you're done picking, you just hit the accept button and all those stats and changes are added to your spells. There's nothing else you have to do since it's all either changing your character stats or upgrading spells specifically. You see here my ability to do fortitude saves went up. And the other thing is, I was saying you have to actually choose to level. So you can ask the cleric for certain advice because you can truly gimp your character if you mess this up. And you saw in that menu, there's no way to respec for it. So there's various different things you can choose from, and some of them are your class-based, and some of them are not. You can actually do cross-class things, but they cost more. So I just stuck with the standard, lowering my threat and raising my heal ability. And then you choose another set of advancements, which is your feats. So this is like adding a new spell. There's a ton of things here. Some of them won't even matter for your class, but you can still train them if you wanted to. You could possibly try and make yourself a hybrid, but you can also severely gimp yourself. And again, I'm just trying to build a all-out healer. So I go with healing spell to increase healing at the cost of extra spell points. But it's better than having to deal casting again, especially if it's time crucial. And so in step 3, you get to see a list of all your spells. So some of the level 1 spells I already had, but since I now hit level 3, I have some more to choose from. Now, you don't automatically get all these spells, even though some of them are pretty cool. You're only allowed to choose a few of these to go on your spell bar. So since I'm going to go healing, I obviously will spec into healing spells. And I mean, there's all sorts of different things. I can find traps if I wanted to. I can go into buffing. I can go into decursing or debuffing. I can go in group control. But I'm just going to stick with healing, so I'm checking out some of the other things I would like heal minor wounds rather than lesser wounds. And then at the end, it gives you a full report, including your basic things that you'll get from upgrading no matter what, like increase to your spell points, increase to your hit points, just basic boost to attack damage. And then as you scroll down, you get to see everything you chose. And again, not all of these spells that you're seeing right now are usable all at once. I have to pick and choose those later. Alright, so that's it for leveling in DDO and episode 2. We'll see you next week. Looks like we're going to be doing it on Sunday again, so we hope to see you there with a full group.